Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahawashi. Double honors unto the elder apostles and great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 4, titled The Sin Offering. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahweh concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin which he had sinned a young bullock without blemish unto Yahweh for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Yahweh, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head, and kill the bullock before Yahweh. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood, and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle of the blood 7 times before Yahweh, before the veil of the sanctuary. Right, 7 times. And if you think about it, these are the things that so-called voodoo priests do in Levi, in Haiti. Voodoo priests, right? What they're doing is they're spraying chicken blood. This girl, Azealia Banks, chicken blood. Fuck your name, man. Your name is garbage. You just spell it fucking normal. I hate that. Just bullshit. Anyway, Azealia Banks, stupidity. Yeah, what she was doing is basically this is what people are doing, and they call it bruya. Now, bruya in Suriname means just wild, just confusion, basically. That's what it means. So they named it fittingly. But, yeah, these are the things that they're doing. Some demonic ass shit. Trying to get that fame. This is totally garbage. This looks disgusting. I would not want to be in there. Right. So you have it on the wicked side. You have it on the wicked side. They do that too. But this was in righteousness. This is what you would call a ritual of righteousness in the name of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahawashi. Verse 7. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahweh, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take off from it all the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, the fat that covereth the inward, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys. In the other chapters before this, I explained what the flanks is, and the caul, and the liver. You should know. You could just Google these things. It shall he take away. And it was taken off from the bullock of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock, and all his flesh, with his head, and with his legs, and his inwards, and his dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out shall he be burned. And if the whole congregation of Israel sinned through ignorance, meaning ignorance mean somebody that is not knowing, unknowing. You're ignorant, meaning ignorant of the fact. Meaning you do something without you knowing it. Lack of knowledge or information. Unawareness. This is what ignorance means, because a lot of people nowadays, they're talking about, oh, he ignorant. What do you, shut up. You're using it as a dis word. Being ignorant is not a dis word. Somebody that is ignorant, it comes from the Old French, or from Latin, sorry. Middle English via Old French, from the Latin ignorantia, from ignorant, not knowing. See, ignorant. It basically means not knowing. So it's not a cuss word. A lot of people are ignorant of Yahawashi being a dark-skinned man, for example. And that's why we say that's why the brothers say who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Well, I don't even want to say that name. I don't even want to say that name. So I'm going on. And the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly. So this shows you that even if you commit a sin ignorantly, you're still guilty. That's going to show. And they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahweh concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty. Right? They did this in ignorance, just like how you have here. Luke chapter 12, verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So if you know what to do, and you don't do it, your beating is going to be very severe. Your punishment is going to be heavy. It's like it's like this. Oops. James chapter 3, verse 1. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. For in many things we offend. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body, meaning basically to check the whole body for your sexual lusts or whatever. Bridle. The definition of a bridle. The headgear used to control a horse, consisting of buckling straps to which a bit and reins are attached. Right. And the reason why that word is being used is because with this you can control a horse. So if you have this spiritually upon your body, that means that you can control your whole body, which would make you a perfect man. You know, but especially perfect in the word, which comes first. Well, which is better, because they both go hand in hand. Because if you have all this scriptural knowledge, but you can't control your body, you're still going to get destroyed, because you might commit adultery, you might steal, you know, but you know not to steal. You know that it's a sin. But if you have the scriptures in your head, and you could, yeah, but if you don't have the scriptures in your head, but you do control your body, well, it's a little bit better, but you don't have that scriptural knowledge. But you do control your body. For example, you don't steal. You know, a lot of people that don't even believe in it, or just they don't keep themselves busy with the scriptures, they don't steal. You know, they don't commit adultery. You know, but they don't follow the Bible either. You know, so he's a little bit better off. It's better to know. It's better not to know than to know and not do it. You know, so yeah. So don't be many masters. Don't try to be the boss. Because if you're a boss, then that means you know a lot of things, a lot of scriptures. And if you break the law, you're gonna get punished a little bit more than a person that is not a master. Because a master is supposed to know everything. You're a master. So don't call yourself a master. just to save yourself. Right, verse 48, Luke 12 and 48. But he that know not, or knew not, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with fewer stripes. For unto whosoever much is given, of him shall be much required. Right. If you have been given a lot of knowledge, a lot of talents, people are going to want more from you. And to whom men have committed much, meaning a lot of people have put, it's not put their faith in you, but have listened to you, have given to you, given their ear to you. For example, of him they will ask the more. Right. So the more you have, the more people will ask of you. You should see it with rich people. That's why they move away from the friends that they used to have, because everybody starts asking you stuff now. Meanwhile, when you was broke, ain't nobody asking you, because they know you ain't got it. Same with the scriptures. If you claim or know a lot of scriptures, a lot of people will come to you and ask you. Right. So on the book of Leviticus chapter 4 verse, where was I? Yeah, verse 14. When the sin which they have sinned against it is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before Yahweh, and the bullock shall be killed before Yahweh. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before Yahweh, even before the veil. And he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the tabernacle which is before Yahweh, that is, in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out of the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take all his fat from him, and burn it upon the altar. And he shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for the sin offering. So shall he do with this. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. Right. So in the link of description, in the description box, I will put a link to the fact that now through Yahawashi, we don't have to do sin offerings no more. So, this is just for reading and for knowledge sake. This is for knowledge sake, right? I'm reading this for knowledge sake, so that we know what we used to do and how we used to do it. And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp, meaning out away from the camp, outside of the camp, and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler had sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahweh, his power, concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or if his sin wherein he had sinned come to his knowledge, he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. So here it is, a ruler has to bring a kid goat, a male. And a priest has to bring a young bullock. And the congregation also had to bring a young bullock if they all had sinned. Right, so going on. It says, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before Yahweh. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And he shall burn all his fat upon the altar, as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sins, and it shall be forgiven him. Now the word atonement, break it out again. Hey, what's going on with Google? They're supposed to just give me this. Atonement definition. Why are they giving me Dutch? What? Okay, I don't know why they're giving me Dutch. Dictionary. Atonement. Amends or reparation made for an injury or wrongdoing. Reparation, meaning basically payback. Right, so that's an atonement. You're making right for the wrongs that you have done. That is what an atonement means. Now it says, Luke 4:26, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahweh concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty, or if his sin, which he had sinned, come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin, which he had sinned. So now, a ruler has to bring a male goat, and one of the common people have to bring a female goat. Right. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he bring a lamb, and if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. And blemish means without spots, without, Okay. I think I need to change this thing into English because it needs to be, it's breaking it down in Dutch, but anyway. A small mark or flaw which spoils the appearance of something, that's blemish. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they killed the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offering. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, never said my mouth dry from all this reading. Yeah, I need a drink. The water. Now it says, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto Yahweh. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he had committed, and it shall be forgiven him. So basically there you have in the book of Leviticus chapter 4, titled The Sin Offering. But we don't have to do that no more. This is just for basically edification's sake, how you want to call it, or just for knowledge sake. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.